perspective. You can feel that wind picking up here in Wears Valley, and this is the time when we start to see wildfires gain energy. And because of the topography here, you see the rolling hills behind me. That is a key concern for firefighters near the end of the day. We want to check in once again with Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell and Leslie Ackerson for more perspective on that landscape we're seeing, guys.
John, thank you for the live report. We'll check back in with you and the team in a moment.
Yeah.
You've heard us mention over the last 2 days, we talk a lot about referencing those 2016 Gatlinburg wildfires with this one, the Wears Valley wildfire this week. But we kind of want to break down the real similarities and differences that we see. Let's start with the similarities, the wind that John mentioned.
Yeah, and we saw from your video in 2016.
Yes.
Looked like a hurricane out there. Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the similarities, Leslie. And there were definitely some similarities. Leslie, you know this very well. Hurricane force wind gusts that we had in 2016, and yes, some of the mountains had that same factor. 85-mile-per-hour peak wind gust in Cove Mountain. Wildfires spread rapidly. That was very similar last night compared to 2016. Evacuations, we had those. We had the homes burned, obviously much more in 2016. The other similarities, down power lines that ignited additional fires. That also happened last night. So those are some of the similarities, but there are some important
quite a few differences.
Yeah, big difference. Location of the fire. Certainly in a less residential, rugged terrain area with 2016 versus a little bit more of a populated residential area, but also that population density, easier access for firefighting crews to get and fight the fire last night versus 2016. Hard to reach area. So, and also tourists versus locals. Yeah, you had a lot of the tourists in 2016. Where do I go? What do I do? Locals had much better information. A lot was learned, of course, from 2016. Containment efforts, again, a lot easier to fight the fire with 2022 wildfire compared to 2016, and certainly the weather setup. In 2016, we had a drought, a long-term drought, versus this last system, we're dry for basically over the last week as the soils and the leaf, the understory was very dry. So that's one of the big differences. Yeah, November 2016, long-term drought. This March, we're not in a drought. We've just been dry for the last week. So the lessons learned were new and better ways to communicate information. Chaotic 2016 versus much more orderly 2022. Really a success story of how they reacted to this year's fire. Improved response efforts, both from officials and people affected. And every fire is unique and different, and we need to handle each situation differently. Always be prepared. Just like no two weather systems are exactly alike, no two fire situations are exactly alike. So 2016, 2022, some similarities, but more importantly, a lot of differences.
I think we learned a lot from that, as you mentioned, the communication. We're getting those evacuation orders out quickly. Crews know how to fight it. And I think people are taking this a lot more seriously because they have been through it before.
Yeah, and it showed last night.
Definitely.
Yeah.